What's going on? This is the brother Jay, and today my thought of the day is personal. I've been making a lot of serious things lately, so I decided to lighten up a little bit with me talking about myself personally. You know, I got two brothers. One's living in Philly right now, another one's in California somewhere. I'm the oldest. I'm 54 years old and stuff like that, and I guess the main thing I want to cover is how time changes, man. It's like some things that you see that you think is supposed to happen don't happen. And the things that you don't appreciate happens. In other words, like this. On the first side of it, it's like this. My dad, I was born in LA, you know what I'm saying? And then I moved to Philadelphia, and I came back to LA. But around the time when I was in LA, and I was like 2 years old, my dad gave me a nickname called Heffy. You know what I'm saying? That's Heffy. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of my family members know me by that name, you know. But around the time that, I'll say before I was 10 years old, I was getting clowned. Because niggas was just clowning on me, man. You know what I'm saying? It was like, it was never like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was just, hey, Heffy, what's up, man? And no, it was like, hey, Hefty trash bags or hey, Huffy bike or something like that. You know what I'm saying? It was always some side joke, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Now, I would get a little mad in my feelings and shit like that, but it was nothing like if you're trying to like be a little youngster trying to cap at a girl and then you tell her, hey, my name is Jerome and shit. And she's like, oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? Then you walking with her and next thing you know, some nigga is yelling down the street, hey, Hefe. And she's like, Heffy? Your name is Heffy? What the fuck is that? So, needless to say, I'm like any other youngster. I was like irritated, you know what I'm saying? Like, wow, you know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, I understand that's our name, but I thought that would be just like in the house with family. I didn't think that it'll, you know what I'm saying, travel outside of that, you know what I'm saying? So everybody was calling me that. So around the time I was 10 years old is when I sit here and say, you know what, fuck this. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going by Heffy no more. You know what I'm saying? My name is Jay. So now people ask me, they like, why did you create Jay? You know what I'm saying? I was like, well, there's so many cats in the hood that was, you know what I'm saying, named Jerome. So they was like, you know what I'm saying, like Romy Rome or Romeo or something like that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't want to be like these cats. So I was like, you know what I'm saying, like, just call me the first initial. Just call me Jay. So that's the origin story of my name, which is Jay. Now, here's the ironic part. It took like, I say, 15 years. No. I said that wrong. 10 years from that mark. Because I didn't really understand why my dad called me Heffy. So, you know what I'm saying, to be politically correct, you know what I'm saying, it was 8 years. Because around the time I was 18, that's when I asked my dad, like, man, where did you come up with the name Heffy from? You know what I'm saying? And weird enough as it is, he said, do you know what Heffy stands for? You know what I'm saying? I said, no. He said, well, the correct pronunciation of the name is Hefe. It means boss or supervisor or leader. I didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? Because I would have known that, you know what I'm saying, I would really ran wild with that name. You know what I mean? So I was like, I just thought it was like, because you know how parents are when they give you, you know what I'm saying, nicknames. Thank goodness I ain't getting no weird nicknames like Boo Boo or Dookie or Snot Nose or like on The Wire, Snot Boogie. Thank goodness I ain't getting no weird name like that. You know what I'm saying? Deadeye or some shit. So when your parents give you a nickname, most of the time it's some kind of embarrassing shit. Most of the time. Some people get blessed and not get a fucked up nickname. You know what I'm saying? But most of the time, even with all my kids, I'm saying either I didn't create a nickname with them, or I created a semi-cool nickname for them. You know what I'm saying? Most of the time, I created no nickname. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, the point I'm getting at is this. So my dad told me that. I was blown away. I was like, what? That's meaning my name, nigga. All this time I feel ashamed and embarrassed and I don't want to hear that name. You know what I'm saying? Come to find out, it had more meaning to it than it did. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of those situations where this seemed like this was like an unfortunate thing that became a fortunate thing because I learned that my name wasn't created out of malice or out of clown's sake. It was like actually had meaning on why he named me that. So that's when I started apologizing to him and some of my, you know what I'm saying, West Coast family, you know what I'm saying, on call me that name, and I was being rebellious and I don't want to answer that shit. And I mean, I got my ass kicked many times, just because I didn't answer to that name. I've been called that name since I was 2 years old. But then when I got, you know what I'm saying, 10 years old, I was like, I don't want to be called that no more. You call me Jay from now on. And I was so stupid. I was so stupid and rebellious that I sit up here and will take an ass whooping to ignore somebody calling me just to make it a point that I was serious that call me Jay from now on. And it took like about a year and a half, almost 2 years. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's few people that still call me Heffy now. You know what I'm saying? It's few. You know what I'm saying? But most people, you know what I'm saying, they know me by Jay, so they just call me that. You know what I'm saying? But I just want to share that because that's a personal note. Also, now on a flip script, you know what I'm saying? You know, you think that if you give your allegiance to somebody, that they'll be loyal back to you. And I had to learn the hard way that, you know, some things change in time. You know what I'm saying? I know it sounds silly, but when you're younger and you have a viewpoint, and then when you get older and start seeing the dynamics of how life is moving and how people's perception is changing, you know, you have to go with the changes of time. You know, but still part of me, you know what I'm saying, I come from that old school loyalty is everything. You know what I'm saying? Which means that I can imagine if I betrayed somebody or was betrayed by somebody, then the loyalty bond is broken. You know what I'm saying? If I sit up here, you know what I'm saying, and wind up doing something ill, like, for example, you my homie, and I say, I'm going to ride with you all the way to the end until the wheels fall off, and then all of a sudden I get jammed up by the police, so now I'm telling them everything about you, that's when the loyalty bond is broken. That's broken. You know what I'm saying? But part of loyalty is part like hood shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, if I clowned you, nigga, you know what I'm saying, or we went out in the backyard and boxed, nigga, the loyalty bond is still there. You know? It only separates through betrayal. And I went through a recent betrayal, you know what I'm saying, I never thought would happen, you know what I'm saying? I was like, you know, okay, you know what I'm saying? And you got to sit up here, you know, like a wounded animal. You lick your wounds and you move on. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's just that in your back of your mind, you know what I'm saying? You're saying in your head, like, okay, nigga, fuck this person forevermore. You know what I'm saying? If anybody bring up that person's name, I'm going to be pissed the fuck off. You know what I'm saying? And I, you know, I try not to be a hateful person, but I'm a realistic person, which means that if someone dislikes me or someone betrays me, there's no loyalty left. You know what I'm saying? You know, I had a cat that I haven't talked to in like 10, almost 15 years, you know, from LA. You know what I'm saying? And we got to an ugly ass, you know, fuck you too argument, you know? And we started talking recently, like, man, wasn't we stupid how we thought back then? Yeah, we was stupid, you know? Because you can always rekindle shit if there's just an argument. But once you have a betrayal, which means I don't give a fuck about you, Oh no. See, now that becomes a trust issue. And I don't even believe in letting somebody in my house, let alone entertain or monopolize my time when they already a traitor. So this is personal shit. And it's personal shit that if anybody's like trying to be involved with me in my life or any kind of way like that, you have to know these issues. You know what I'm saying? Which is that, especially when it's a friendship basis, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I gotta feel comfortable to talk to you. And if I feel comfortable to talk to you, means I trust you. I'm looking around, you know what I'm saying? I'm looking for evidence, saying, because if I see any hint in any way that a person, you know what I'm saying, like resents me or they don't trust me or, you know what I'm saying, they on some other shit that I'm not into really, you know what I'm saying? I gotta let you go, man. You know what I'm saying? Man, I mean, again, like I said earlier, I'm 54 years old, man. My life, you know what I'm saying, is precious. Even though I don't think I got many years left, you know what I'm saying? I probably got underneath my belt realistically, probably 3, maybe 4 years. Realistically. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if I'm alive longer than that, because I'm not a black pillar, you know what I'm saying? If I'm alive longer than that, cool. You know what I'm saying? But I'm looking at it realistically, like where my health is at, you know what I'm saying? And what's going on. And, you know what I'm saying? I mean, right now, personally, I got one last homie that's still alive right now. His name is Ghost and stuff like that. And, you know what I'm saying? He's like teetering on the edge, which I hope he overcome that edge, you know what I'm saying? But that's one of the last homies and stuff like that I got that's still alive right now breathing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm talking about that I actually ran the streets with, that met my dad and sat there and heard my dad lecture to this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? He's one of the last dudes left. So I'm like, damn, I feel like last of the Mohicans out this motherfucker, man. You know what I'm saying? But I'm still like, I'm going to sit here and say what I say until the end. One thing I'm saying is that, and this is mostly a message for younger people, which is that do not take advantage or assume that you will never become old. You know what I'm saying? I had a discussion, you know what I'm saying, with my daughter years ago. You know what I'm saying? She used to clown on me like, hey, yeah, Dad, you're old and you're ancient, you're history. And she was a clown, but she was young, you know what I'm saying, when she was clowning. And I said to her, you know what I'm saying, well, how you think you're going to be? Because I was in your shoes before, too. I never thought I'll get old. Never thought it. You know what I'm saying? That's how your mentality is as a kid. You always think, I'm not going to be old. I'm not going to be old like they are. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be young forever. I'm a Toys R Us kid. I don't want to grow up. You know? So, and when I said that, you know what I'm saying? She said, no matter how old I get, you're always going to be older. I'm like, you're right. Now she got a kid now. Now, it'll be funny. It'll be funny. You know what I'm saying? In 5 years from now, you know what I'm saying? He turns to her and shit like that and be like, hey, Mom, you're old. Ooh, that's going to be, ooh. And women can't take that old age calling like dudes can. Dudes don't really mind being called old. Women do. You know what I'm saying? So it'll be really ironic if this little man gets older and be like, hey, Mom, you're old as shit. Ooh, they'll break her down, nigga. Ooh. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? All thing I'm saying, man, to bring this to a conclusion is that, the main thing I make these on is, to express my mindset of how I'm thinking that day. Sometimes it's really, you know what I'm saying, positive. Sometimes it got certain issues attached to it. You know what I'm saying? My mind is fluid. It's all over the place, but it's centered when it comes to a point that needs to be made. Because see, just because my mind thinks of other different problems doesn't mean I internalize it and take it personal. You know? But when I say personal things, it has a meaning to it. Now, not everybody's gonna get the meaning, and that's okay. That's okay. It's the same thing like having a debate with somebody. You don't have to see eye to eye with me what my point is. The point is, this is my opinion. You have your opinion. As long as you respect mine, I respect yours. We're good. You know? Because I believe in like the videotapes I make mostly be on the point of like having a therapist or psychologist, but you're not paying for it. You know, I say many times when I make these videos that, hey, you know, if there's a topic that you want me to talk about or try to cover, I'm going to try, you know what I'm saying, to do, because I'm going to have my opinion and then I'm going to have facts. So when I say from my point of view, that means it's my opinion. But when it's facts, I'll be like, they said in the paper this, that, and the other. That means it's facts. You know, or at least facts that I read from. Not my own personal, this is how I see things and that's how it goes. So the point I'm getting at is only this. You know what I'm saying? I leave the forum or the floor open for certain topics if people want me to cover as far as the thought of the day. You know, if I feel that I am wise enough or experienced enough to cover that topic, then I'll cover it. You know what I'm saying? But not every topic I'm going to cover, you know what I'm saying? Because some things are a little dark. You know what I'm saying? And you're like, ooh, first of all, I have no experience in that shit because it's not my cup of tea. Second of all, I don't even want to look that shit up because that's some dark ass shit. I'm good. You know? Because some people be asking some way out shit like, hey, can you look up how it would be if a donkey fucked a cat or some weirdo shit? You know what I'm saying? You're like, what? Now, it might sound weird how I just said that, but there's some motherfuckers out there that's on some dark weirdo shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, ooh, you were sicko. Delete, block. You know? So either way, I'm not going to go too long, you know what I'm saying? This is my thought of the day. I bid y'all good health and try your best to stay in good spirits. Deuce.